And the 20th anniversary of 9/11 was also honored on a state level today. The steps of the state capitol were filled with Arkansans honoring and remembering those who lost their lives during the attacks. All there for one reason: to never forget. THV 11's Ian Russell takes us there.
It's been 20 years since the attacks of September 11th. Has been more than 2 decades since one of the darkest days in American history. Arkansas paused to remember the lives lost on the steps of the state capitol. You'll always remember where you were on 9/11.
My story is I had just graduated college at Arkansas State in May of '01.
But for Adam Staples,
And my first job out of college was going to be a financial advisor with Morgan Stanley. That required 3 weeks of training in New York, which was started September 10th.
he witnessed history firsthand.
There was the sound of a jet, what is now obviously the sound of a jet engine, throttling up, and obviously crashed into our building. The impact was really violent. The explosion was violent.
Staples worked on the 61st floor of the South Tower, just 16 floors from where the second plane hit.
Andrew Anthony Abate, 37, Brooklyn, New York.
Staples talks about his experience often.
Equate it kind of to like a radio playing in the background or a TV playing in the background. You kind of always know it's there.
Especially around this time of year. Experiencing that day firsthand gives him a different perspective than most, but there's one we all share. Never forget and always remember.
Never is a long time, and we made a pledge we'll never forget. When you see these kinds of ceremonies, it just goes to stress the importance of the pledge that we've made.
We will never forget you.
Arkansas mourned the almost 3,000 lives lost 2 decades ago with a ceremony on the state capitol steps Saturday, reflecting and remembering.
Please join me in a moment of silence.
The lives lost, including Arkansans.
Nehemiah Lyons IV, 30, Pine Bluff, Arkansas.
So as the nation reflects on 20 years since its darkest day,
But what has not changed is the spirit of this great country.
Staples says the message from the days following 9/11 hasn't changed. Unity and care for each other.
And when we saw that and we couldn't take our eyes off of it, and now 20 years later we still look back on that day, and one of the images as first responders, just moms and dads and aunts and uncles, fulfilling John 15:13. Though greater love hath no man than to lay down his life for someone else. And that's it. That's what I hope we can hang on to.
In Little Rock, Ian Russell, THV 11 News.